reading out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. Got the scoop, faster than a sprint, calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite.
Goodness, I stopped it early, didn't I? So I just got a notice that we have a delayed opening at Radford. The roads are very slick, apparently, in Radford. Hey, good morning. So we had snow yesterday after rain, and apparently it's all frozen. So Radford University is delayed until noon today. It's slick. I know where I'm at. What's up, Southwest Virginia to Texas? Where you been, slacker? See, thank you. You mean you didn't agree with me on the snow before now? Really? Baseball canceled yesterday for today's travel, and then Radford's supposed to play tomorrow, but the temperature's supposed to be only 40 degrees. And they have it scheduled at 6 for some reason, and there's no way that's going to happen because the temperatures by then will be barely above freezing. So here we are, one more little blast, and maybe we'll have another. Who knows? Join us in our BDST Tournament Challenge. You go to ESPN Tournament Challenge, Big Dog, DAWG, Sports Talk, and you just type in and pick. We're having fun. There'll be some prizes, and we'll see who rules the kingdom. And it starts tonight. Now, I get that. Pretty soon you won't have any interest in football if it keeps going the way it's going in college football. No hope on the horizon. Talk to enough people now to where there's no hope on the horizon. Right? It's not going to happen. We're not going to get any kind of help. I believe something will come out of the governmental conversations, but it won't be anything that'll be satisfactory. Just where we are. The ridiculousness of it continues. Oh, well. And this will be the last day. I'm sorry, the last year of this NCAA tournament as we enjoy it now. So even more so to get in and fill out your brackets. It's free, it's fun, and there'll be some prizes for the winner. We're going to do one winner. I mean, I'm not eligible. Anybody who jumps in is not eligible that's on the show. But we just want to be in there to pick with you so we can have fun. So Radford will not open until noon today. Interesting. Just got that. That just came across the pike here. And I'm sure schools are either delayed or closed. I haven't looked. I don't have kids in school anymore, so. But, yeah, we got a little heavy, an hour worth of snow showers and not quite an inch. You know, there was nothing on the road right down here at my house, but grass is covered. Cars are covered. How in the world do you like snow? Are you a skier? Do you ski? But where are we? March 16th, 17th, and we're still dealing with snow on the ground. Yes, we are. All right, coming up today, Marva in Miami. We're going to discuss the tough opener that her Tar Heels potentially have with VCU. Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner podcast on the eve of spring practice and all the pontifications of James Franklin. Sir James Franklin. And then it's going to be cool because this week, something big's happening for our women's basketball program. Radford University basketball has never hosted a postseason tournament. Now, we have hosted the Big South tournament. There you go, Morris. From Tech Sideline, where Chris Coleman writes a sad, hokey NIT column. Here in Palm Coast, we pray for the day Tech finds another Dale Solomon. BDST is live and online. See? Whatever you did at work, Morris, you're back. Hey, Opal, good morning. I don't know. You are the first lady. I got a feeling that, you know, you probably willed this on the rest of us. But you remember we had Joy Williams on, Radford's first team all-conference guard, and Joy is going to jump on at 8 along with Ellie Taylor. So we're going to have two of our women's basketball players on. to talk about playing in the WNIT. For Radford, it's a big deal. And it's a bigger deal because we've never hosted. And we will do that on Friday, 7 o'clock, Morehead State in the opening round of the WNIT. And you'll enjoy hearing from Joy and Ellie. So there you go. And they will jump on together. And that'll be a lot of fun. Mike Burnup's traveling today, so no Mike today. He's going to be, I think he's on the road right now. So we'll have Mike back on probably next week. I don't think it's going to work out. Maybe it works out on Friday if he's available. We'll see. He's done with games, so maybe it'll work. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure all that out. But do hit us up. ESPN Tournament Challenge, Big Dog Sports Talk, DAWG. 4 words. Search for our group. Join. And let's get this thing going. By the way, you'd be proud of me. I made my picks yesterday. And I'm usually pretty solid on my picks. In other words, when I go through it, I took the time to look at each matchup, each bracket. I usually don't go back and do anything. Now, that strategy has not parlayed itself into me having any kind of really great bracket. I've only won a bracket one time. Ever. And that was a long time ago, like right after, I think, my first or second year in college. I have not ever won a bracket pool or anything like that since. But made my picks. And, last year was probably one of the most anticlimactic tournaments that we've had because all number 1 seeds, if you remember, made the Final Four. I think I'm going to write about that this week in the Patriot. I'm just going to unveil my bracket. But so you had all 4 number 1s. So what I think is happening now in college hoops with the portal and pay for play, we might see less upsets. The Cinderella aspect of it, which has really pushed this event for so many years, might be good for a game or 2 or 3, but it might be hard to consider that happening again. A VCU, a George Mason, a Loyola Chicago going to the Final Four. Because your power teams in hoops can go out as well and spend a lot more money. Been a lot of reveals about how much money Tech has spent on basketball, and it was well over $10 million. You don't know how accurate those are for the roster. Some of those squads, Indiana, for instance, spent over $30 million, but they didn't make the tournament. The new norm of collegiate sports, and we talk about it just in passing fancy. And it's like everything else, the NCAA tournament is being affected by it now, and it will be affected by it, I think, after this year when the thing expands. So jump in, make your picks. We had Donnie Lynn on yesterday, the head coach at Mount St. Mary's. He had some of the Cinderellas that he liked. And we'll see how it goes. The second of the first 4 games tonight should be intriguing. Unfortunately, that's the late one, 9-something for NC State, Texas. Of course, UMBC, the only 16 to ever beat a 1. When they did that to UVA a few years ago. Then UVA follows it up and wins the national title the next year. And then you'll have first 4 games tomorrow. Remember, I still get a lot of questions on our professional door text line. You do not have to pick the first 4 games. So in other words, your bracket's not due. And I did check. It's about 11 o'clock on Thursday. So as long as you have your bracket filled out by 11, you can jump in and go and join the league. But, for instance, if you like Texas and NC State, in full disclosure, I did pick the winner of that game to beat BYU. I think either one of them will beat BYU. But you'll see on the bracket before Thursday, if you wait until Thursday morning, they will update it automatically. Right now it has NC State / Texas, right? And the other game as well, so-and-so / so-and-so. So when they update it, they will put the team in there. And then you look at it and you make the decision for yourselves. But seems like that's been happening more recently, that one of those power teams that advanced from the Dayton first 4 games plays. So Mortar says he's been listening to everything Lou Holtz. Lou got to South Carolina and asked, how do you keep a gamecock out of your backyard? Lou said, put up a goalpost. Yeah, we'll have Jim back this week. We'll talk about Coach Holtz. Make sure she gets into our BDST league. Right? I call it a league. I don't know why I call it a league. I'm going to tell her right now. Make your picks and jump in. The peeps demand it. There you go. Well, I'm just glad, Morris, we've got your open back. That's cool. What happened? What was going on, man? I want to thank Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. FamilyFencingNRB.com. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hunley, off of Walters Drive, 155 Walters Drive, sponsor of our chat room. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. They've been around since 1997, 540-381-8011. The NRB Super Bowl, 382-5525. Give them a call. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. If you want T-shirts, $20. If shipped, $30. Sundown Electric, thanks to Jeff Smith. Every customer satisfied, and then some. Superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, clear communication, and they're honest about the work they have to do, honest and integrity. My goodness gracious, we don't have much of that left in the world. Ready, Set, Fun with Bob Christ, CRST11 at Gmail. If you have any questions, ReadySetFun.com. Read up how you can make your organization, your school group, whatever it might be, money to raise for uniforms, equipment, whatever you need. Our text line, sponsored by Professional Door Incorporated, residential, commercial garage doors. Reach out to Travis Williams today. Family owned and operated for 38 years, right across from the New River Community College. My personal banking partner and the show's exclusive banking partner. National Bank, member FDIC, thanks to Lara Ramsey. Going through some refinancing right now, and I get updates every day of where we are. BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. And we're starting to get some answers. I'm not going to reveal yet. We're asking which is the biggest first-round upset for you. We'll have to have it on Thursday because by Friday we'll have games played. So Thursday we'll reveal it. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 540-553-2971. He and his crew do the best work in that particular line of work around. Heating, cold, whatever it might be, let them come check out your units. If you need new units, they will work with you as pricing and your insurance company, your homeowners. And Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, we're presented each and every day. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller, presenting sponsor of this program, and Stacy Compton on at some point this week. We're going to talk all things IHRA. So we got a lot going on today. Marva, Brian Seigla, and Joy and Ellie from Radford Basketball. And you will really enjoy those two young ladies. You talk about inspiring you about college athletics when we really have very little to be excited about. The hypocrisy of it all knows no bounds. It really does. It really does. Morris said he was in a bad place, severe deep depression until I was restored today. Yeah, I don't understand what was going on, Morris, because you were showing up except for your open. And that was strange. All right, so the peeps are wanting to know point spreads for the tournament on the professional door text line. All right. So you got TCU, Ohio State. That's going to be the first game on Thursday. Ohio State's 2.5-point favorites. You've got Troy and Nebraska. Nebraska's 13.5-point favorites. That's in the South region. South Florida and Louisville 5.5. That's a 6-11 game that you might want to keep an eye on. I could see that one going the other way. High Point, Wisconsin. Wisconsin only 9.5-point favorites over the Big South champ. That's in the West region. That's a 150 tip. Siena and Duke 29-point favorites. That's going to be ugly. McNeese, Vanderbilt 11.5-point favorites. McNeese is one of those popular 12 seeds. Michigan State 17-point favorites over North Dakota State as we get into the late afternoon games on Thursday. Hawaii and Arkansas 15.5-point favorites. That's Thursday at 4:25. And then the game we're going to talk about with Marva, 6:50 on Thursday, VCU, North Carolina. The Tar Heels 2.5-point favorites, and that's it. And we don't know the opponent for Michigan or BYU yet. Thursday evening, St. Mary's 2.5-point favorites over Texas A&M. That's the 7:35 game in the South region. Penn and Illinois 25-point favorites. Wow. In the South region at 9:25. Georgia and St. Louis. Georgia, 2.5-point favorites, 9:45. Feels like that might be my lock of the first round on Thursday. St. Louis at number 9 to beat Georgia. That's the BDST lock of opening day. St. Louis to beat Georgia. Gonzaga, 21-point favorites over Kennesaw State. That's 10 o'clock in the West region on Thursday. And then Idaho and Houston, the late game, 10-10 on Thursday. Houston, 23.5-point favorites. I'll hold off on Friday, but there you go. There's your Thursday. If you're starting to look at your bracket, jump into the Big Dog Sports Talk bracket, and we'll see how we all do. And I think I'm going to just leave mine the way they are. I might go back and look at it and make sure. But I do know I picked St. Mary's to beat Georgia. Mark it down, the lock of round one, or at least on Thursday. I'll probably try to do a lock on Friday too. We'll ask Keon tomorrow what his lock of the first round is. But there you go. That's my lock of round number one. Coming up. I'll send Marva her invites because, Marva's so special. She's got 2 email addresses. Teddy writes, are you excited about spring football? No. It's practice. If you're a Tech fan, sure. I understand why you are. But me, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's practice. I'm excited to see how guys develop what we're allowed to see. Sure. I think it feels like I'm a lot higher on Grunkmeyer than a lot of people. A lot of people think that, I don't know why. People think that's not as much of a slam dunk as it looks like it is. But to me, it is. Brad says, I'm with you, Rick, here on the text line. Can't stand this snow. I could not believe what I was driving home in yesterday. Tell me about it, right? Now, schools are delayed. Radford University is delayed. I think this caught everybody off guard. I knew they said it might turn into some snow showers, but then it just kept coming. And I know it snowed here about an hour and a half, really hard last night. So I could see how it would be tricky. And the temperatures, like right now, we're at 19 degrees and it feels like 7. Yay. 19 degrees and it feels like 7. Trying to get caught up here on the text line. Mike's asking about I get fooled by AI all the time on some of these things that I see on Instagram and on X. Yeah, a lot of it's obvious. I know I'm not an expert on it, but you can tell what's real and what's fake, I think, if you just really look at it. There's too much of it going on. Look, I think it's going to put Hollywood completely out of business, along with what Hollywood's doing to put itself out of business. But yeah, that's going to happen, man. I'm with you. Some of it's cool. With the funny stuff when they do it is cool when they're not trying to be. But there are a lot of folks that look at it like they try to put stuff out there to make stuff look like somebody did something they didn't. And I'm wondering if that's going to start being like a liability thing. Right? But yeah, there's nothing good coming out of Hollywood. So it could be replaced. At this point, I'm not sure we would care. I'm really not sure we would care. Eric says, thank you, Rick. Thank you for turning me on, reminding me about Selma Hayek. Sure, Eric. Absolutely. You mean Selma Hayek? You mean Selma? Yeah. Girl number 1? The A-lister? You mean is that Selma Hayek right there? Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Steve from the chamber? Let me send it to you here. Let me see. Let me send you the exact link here. And hopefully this will get to you. And you can spread this around, Steve. Get people to jump in. It's fun. It's free. Let me know if that works, Steve. I think some people said it worked. Some people said it didn't. That's the address. If not, you can just go to ESPN Fantasy Tournament Challenge. And you can Big Dog Sports Talk. Search the groups, and you can join that way. 7 o'clock, those of you asking, 7 o'clock, the professional door text line's popping this morning. It's 7 o'clock on Friday down at Radford. If you want to come watch a WNIT game, come hang out with us. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah, tell them it's free, Steve. There will be some prizes at the end. But yeah, 7 o'clock, Radford, Morehead State, and we're having Joy Williams and Ellie Taylor on today in the third hour to make sure that you're reminded to come and support these young ladies. First time Radford's ever hosted a tournament game, outside the Big South tournament. So that's a big deal. It's a big deal. And the WNIT is structured, I think, more accommodating for the teams that are invited as opposed to the new NIT, which is, I believe, about to be abolished. The tournament in Vegas, I saw it's the quarterfinals. There are 8 teams, all major teams. I think the fact that those teams would have been NIT teams, that tournament's going to replace the NIT, I think. You have Vegas money, casino money behind it. It's going to end up being the big postseason tournament. It'll grow from 8. You watch the one out in Vegas. That's what's going to happen. Morris likes Gonzaga. He's had a few teams that I thought had a real shot. When they had Morrison and those guys, UCLA came back to beat them on their way to the Final Four. Then they got the long shot to beat UCLA, couldn't pull it out. Yeah, Mark Few's a really good coach. You know, he had his issue there with the DUI, but he handled all that the right way. I think in life, we're very quick to criticize and forget that everybody has things. Even people who have money and they're the status of a coach. I mean, he made a bad decision. He paid the price, you know. He's never forgiven himself. But I should say a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people sit in their ivory tower and want to cast judgment on people who make mistakes. And you know what? That's no, it's not the way to do it. So I'm with you. I like Mark Few. He still openly talks about his mistake that he made. I don't think they're going to win it this year. But it's always a well-coached team each and every year. And it's crazy what he's turned that small school, or then it was a small school in Washington, what he's turned it into. About one of the basketball meccas of the country. I'm sure if there hasn't been already, that's going to be a great book. How Mark Few made Gonzaga, right? And remember, it's Gonzaga. It's not Gonzaga. Because they're not the Zogs, they're the Zags. Gonzaga. But yeah, you always like the way they play. 100%. 100%. Sure. I have Duke winning the national championship. I have no problem telling you. I'll have Duke winning the title. And I went through it trying to look at matchups, trying to see, is there anybody who can beat them? How does this matchup look that I have? What if I went the other way? I believe they are the most perfect team we've seen in a long time going into the tournament, and they're getting their injured guard back. I mean, they made mincemeat out of the ACC tournament, and they didn't even have him. That is a really, really good basketball team. And I'm no Duke fan. I don't like Duke basketball. Like many of you, I think they've gotten preferential treatment. I think their coverage has been biased, all those things. But this team under John Shire is more of a blue-collar team. They don't need the help from the officials. They're really good. They're really good. And I have them winning the national title. I do. And I know it may sound boring, but, you know, trying to pick brackets here. Remember, St. Mary's, Morris, is my lock for Thursday, my Thursday lock. And I know it's kind of lame because it's an 8-9 game. But it's still a lower seed beating a higher seed. But that's a lock. I mean, Georgia, why even show up? Marva will join us. We'll talk about another game that I didn't put as a lock, but I feel good about. VCU, North Carolina. VCU, obviously, without its franchise. And a team that really not riding a lot of momentum going into the tournament. We'll see what Marva thinks. And VCU, their identity may not exactly be the same, but watched them play Tech earlier in the season. They play really, really well. A lot more fallout. I still seeing it, man. People are just – there are a lot of people angry at Mike Young and Virginia Tech's athletic department over them not playing in the NIT. It's crazy. We talked about this yesterday with Chris Coleman, but, man, the backlash has been incredible. Steve, let me know if that did that link work for you, Steve, for the tourney challenge? Let me know if that link worked for you. Because if it does, that's what I'll keep sending people. If not, I'll have to just direct them to. Because I don't know how it shows up, if it'll work through the text line link. Oh, yeah, it tells you to open it through Chrome or Google. Yeah, it works. Okay, sweet. Got it. Have fun. Have fun. Yeah, spread the word. Let's get as many people in there as we can. And again, you don't have to have them until Thursday at 11. And I know a lot of people might wait until Thursday morning because you want to see how the first 4 games go. The professional door text line this morning is absolutely slamming. Now a question about Wednesday. Okay, here you go. Wednesday, Prairie View and Lehigh. And then Miami, Ohio, SMU. That's the first 4 on Wednesday, those of you asking. UMBC Howard, first game of the tournament. Texas, NC State. And then, boom. Prairie View, Lehigh. Miami, SMU. SMU, 6.5-point favorites. Lehigh, 3.5-point favorites. But you don't have to pick those. What's up, Rodney? Good morning. Rodney sent me a text. I won't ask specifically on air, but yay or nay, Rodney? Because mine is still nay. You know what I'm talking about. In the mail. Yeah, I still love the tournament. I do. Uh-oh, yours is yay? Uh-oh, mine's nay. What should I do? I've been forgotten about, clearly. I'll give it today. How's that? I'll give it to today, and then I'll do that. That's what I'll do. Maybe because sometimes things here get a little late. What's up, Joseph? You fighting Irish guy, you. He likes South Florida. Yeah, I know, man. That was one of the last games I picked, Joseph. I got to go back and look at that one. I like to just stay with what I've got. Thank you, Rodney. I appreciate it. I've gotten a lot of reaction from Friday's article. Thank you. Because you think about Louisville coming out of a power league, 5.5 is – that's Vegas thinking that what Vegas is telling you there is that's a vulnerable higher seed. So I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I mean, there's games that I like. Look, I'm not saying, what's up, Art? Articulo. He says, go Duke. Yeah, I think they're going to run the thing, man. I mean, yeah, that's a 1:30 game. That one, I don't think High Point can pull off Wisconsin. I think they can make it close. McNeese is getting a lot of love, but man, Vegas likes Vandy a lot. 12 points. We talked about VCU. We'll do that in a moment. And then there's not really anything else. Well, St. Louis, if St. Louis beats Georgia, that won't be an upset. Is my lock lame because it's a 9-8 game? Is that lame? But, I do have the winner of NC State, Texas beating BYU. So there. So maybe that counts as an upset too. I haven't seen Hawaii at all. Like, whenever you have a higher SEC seeding, it always seems like they're the ones that lose early. But I don't know anything about Hawaii, really. I mean, I even looked up some stuff, and it didn't ring a bell. I would love to think North Dakota State could find some of their football magic and hang with Michigan State, but I don't think that'll happen. And who knows? Maybe McNeese State has something for them. But, High Point is less than 10-point underdogs. And that's a lot of respect for the Big South, by the way. Getting a 12 seed, that is a lot of respect. That is cool. That is really cool. I mean, Big South would never, ever get that kind. We had some great Winthrop teams. Greg Marshall, when he was there, and they would never get that kind of consideration to be a 12 seed. I think they got a 14 seed was the highest. The High Point won 30 games, and they're a 12 seed. Plus, they were in the tournament last year. So Wisconsin better strap them on tight, but High Point doesn't have any size. And Wisconsin does, and that's where I think that matchup is going to get bogged down for them. They're going to have shots challenged at every position that they necessarily didn't have in Big South games. So that's why I don't really, think they're going to be able to move on. I thought last year's team, now I didn't pick them last year, but I really liked last year's team, and they did not win their first round game. And they had a matchup that was favorable, but it's just something about them. But these are brand new starters, and they're just much smaller. I don't see them winning that game, but we'll see. Joining us now on the program, wearing her Carolina blue in celebration of her Tar Heels on the eve of their eliminations, Marva in Miami. Good morning, Marva. How are you?
Rick, I have no idea what you're talking about. What I am hearing is a lot of people are expecting Carolina to make an incredible run. And I think many people are expecting Elite Eight, Final Four. That is what I'm hearing.
Oh, thanks, Derek. Yeah, that's right. They did. 2007, they did have the 11 seed. Yeah, those teams were great. Greg Marshall's teams. They really were. So I stand corrected. All right, well, lay it on. First of all, how's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing fine.
Everybody doing
Getting
good?
ready for spring break. That's next week for my kids.
Guess what? It's 19 here right now.
Oh, wow. Wow, I have not been out this morning, but it was raining here earlier, so that was kind of a downer.
I'm
going to check because I don't know what the temperature is. It's 69, and it is still raining. It's only going to get up to 71, so it's not going to be, much of an increase over that.
Is everybody okay? Everybody okay?
No, I don't like the rain, but this is our kind of beginning of our rainy season here, so got to get used to it.
We had about an inch of snow yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Afternoon. Yeah.
How exciting for you.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, some mid-March snow. That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. High today of maybe 25, so it's great.
Wow,
great.
Something to look forward to. I see you got on your sweatshirt and your hoodie.
I know.
That's great.
It's cold down here today. All right, lay it on me now. Carolina 6th seed against those VCU Rams. Now, first of all, you got to be honest. You can't like that matchup a whole lot, right?
You always have to be on upset alert. And I've heard, people saying it's a popular pick. But I'm hoping that Carolina's going to learn something from what happened to them in the ACC tournament. Carolina lost to Clemson, a team they had beaten in Chapel Hill. And I think what happened, it looked like at the beginning of the game, it's just the fight wasn't there. Like the Clemson was playing really tough. And it's like, I don't know. Like I said, Carolina didn't show up. Now, Carolina did have a crazy comeback towards the end of that game and went on to lose just by 1. But, if they had played the way they played in like the last 5 minutes or so of the game, they would have won the game easily. So I'm hoping that that's a lesson they take to this first game against VCU. Carolina's fortunate to stay in the southern region and get to play in South Carolina. And I know there'll be a lot of Carolina fans there, but they've just got to come out with fire at the beginning and, jump out on top, hopefully. This slow start thing, and we'll catch them in the second half. And it gets Clemson, they try to catch them late in the second half. And it was just an amazing comeback, but it fell short. You just can't do that. You cannot do that come tournament time. And I'm hoping Carolina's learned a lesson and will advance. And, like I said, who knows what's going to happen. That's one of the great things about this tournament. You just don't know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up and make it an incredible. At the end of the tournament, you're going to be talking about some kid you never really knew about before, which always makes it fun.
So now you're getting yelled at. Is this true? You're not in the BDST league yet? You're not in?
Not yet. Oh my gosh, not yet.
Well, I'm just saying. There. I'm getting I didn't know. I hadn't looked. Wow.
I will be there. Oh my goodness, people, stop! I will be there. I'm always there. I'm taking time. I'm carefully considering my picks. Okay.
Do you need a link?
Do I have to be in there for the first 4? I mean, my goodness.
Well, but nice to see you in there. You can create your bracket, then go back. It'd be nice to see that you're.
Okay, I will do that later on today. I will do that. A lot of times I kind of wait to the last minute because I'm still carefully considering every pick. Okay, but yes, I will do it today. This afternoon. Okay,
you're meticulous, is what you are.
Yes,
you're meticulous.
Yes,
yeah.
Are you still limiting everyone to one bracket?
Yeah, we do one bracket. We don't go. No, we're not doing multiple floating picks.
I would like to have 2.
No.
2? Your husband. Crazy the way ESPN does. They let you have like a 25 or something crazy.
Exactly.
But no, I think you should every year to be completely transparent with the peeps. Every year I fill out 2. I do. I do the ESPN thing every year and I fill out 2 brackets. Okay. 2.
Well, put your husband's name on the other one or something.
I should tell him to do one for you guys. I think he has in the past. I'll let him do one as well.
There you go. Well, what do you think? 8 ACC teams? You pretty happy that shows?
I'm pretty happy. I'm glad to see the conference come back strong. And I'm hoping that the teams won't just be in the tournament, but that they'll actually, make some noise, stay around for a while. There's one team that should probably lose their first game. But everyone else, keep going. Keep it up.
Full disclosure, I got them winning the title. I know. I'm not proud. I'm not happy about it. Don't think I'm like, yay.
There's still time. There is still time to change that. There is still time. Come on. If you can't bring yourself to put Carolina down, I know it'd be the surprise choice. You could. Why don't you just go with Arizona? Come on. You don't have to put them down. Well, you don't have to do it, Rick.
I might have them playing Arizona. But.
Okay, and then let Arizona win. Have Arizona winning. Okay, you do not, Rick. Oh my God, I'm so disappointed in you right now.
I'm disappointed in myself, Marva. I am.
Seriously, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do it. I'm sure you've probably done this in the past, and you were disappointed.
I think they're the best team I've seen in a long time, though. They got their guard back too.
But you never know what's going to happen. And the other teams,
I know
teams that are good too. I know. Don't have to. We don't want this, Rick. And you don't.
No, we don't.
By you
we
putting
don't want
it down,
we don't want it.
You help increase the odds that it'll happen.
I don't know. Maybe since I picked them, maybe that's actually going to make it less likely they win.
I'm trying to read what someone says. Miami Hurricanes. Okay, I'll tell you about the Miami Hurricanes because I am down here. I am not hearing people talk about them much.
Your Hurricanes, yeah. What do you got?
They're not my Hurricanes, but now that I went to that game there, I get their emails and they're trying to drum up interest. And I'm just talking about just the people. I'm around other people here, around parents, and nobody's talking about them, which I think is unfortunate. I would again, I am an ACC fan. I would love to see every team do well with the exception of one. I'd like to see people, win. I'd like to see people talking about the conference again. That type of thing would be great. And so I don't know why these Miami people, they're not, do you know what Miami people are talking about? They're talking about what's going on with the Dolphins.
Already.
What's going on with the Dolphins? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
So it's a shame. I mean, the people should celebrate the Canes. Like the last time the Canes made a run and people were talking about them, there was all this excitement down here. I'm just not feeling that right now, which is a shame.
No. Do you want NC State to win? You said you can't.
I know NC State would never want Carolina to win, but I'd love to see NC State win. I'd love to see
it's pretty big.
All of the conference teams, with the exception of one, I would love to see them advance because it's good for the conference. I would wholeheartedly, I'd like to see them, everybody go forward with the exception of one team who, they could lose and have just shocked the country.
And you love it.
That would be great. I was so hoping, going back to the ACC tournament, I was hoping I saw Florida State was putting it to them. I was watching it. Friends were talking about it. And then I don't know, they just fell apart and let Duke win. And then Virginia was trying to, put it to them. Virginia gave them a fight, but just couldn't do it. So yeah, if they were to lose, I don't even know who this team is playing. Obviously they're playing some hapless 16 seed, but it has happened.
The Siena Saints.
Yeah, it has happened before. And I'm saying go Siena Saints. I want them to win.
That's the kind of game that you start out watching, right? And that they probably have no hope. But if they hit like a couple of baskets early and get like a 6-point lead, I mean, that's when you start. That's why this tournament's so great. You sit there and you're like,
it would be so great. It would ruin so many people's brackets. It doesn't have to ruin yours, Rick.
I know.
It would ruin, and it would just be really, I'm just getting teary-eyed thinking about it, or either my allergies are acting up. But yeah, it would be great. Real? Okay. I don't know who that is, but I mean, I'm just telling you what people are saying down here. Like they don't.
They don't care about basketball. What you're telling me.
I know some people do, but I'm just saying that what I'm hearing people talk about more is what is going on with the Dolphins.
I get it.
And how far away are we from the season starting? But that's what people are talking about.
Drafts could be coming up soon. I guess they're going to segue into that, right?
And there are some people talking about the Heat. I'm sure you might have talked about the 83 points.
No.
And that is so funny because that night that game was on. There was also a college game against it. And right at this moment, I don't remember which one. But my husband was watching the Heat. And I'm like, I don't want to see this. I would like to see what's going on. And I hate I don't remember the college game it was competing with. So we turned and watched that. And then we came back. And I did watch him do it. And I was amazed just because, and I know people are complaining about the fouls and whatnot for Bam Adebayo that, they should have taken him out. This game was a rout, and the fact that he's playing the Wizards, I mean, who cares? You play what's on the schedule. You don't make that. You don't make your own schedule. And just because it was a player that we don't see do that. That's why I was interested, because he's their defensive guy. He's blocking shots.
Which makes it even worse. Which makes it more of a joke. Right.
Well, I don't think it's a joke, though.
It's a joke. The NBA is a joke.
I don't think it's a joke. I think, the way that they were playing at the end, though, to try to get him to, beat Kobe's number. I mean, they should have stopped him. The Wizards, they should have done more to stop them, but they didn't. And especially the way he was playing in the first half, because the first half was just like regular game. It wasn't, they weren't trying to do anything. And I was just like, what? Bam is doing this? I get, he's their defensive guy. He's their shot blocker. I was surprised.
The NBA is not even a professional league anymore. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, LeBron.
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry but the person saying, whatever we think that the front office is going to screw it up. Yes, it's going to be screwed up.
LeBron's NBA can't even light a candle to Michael's NBA. Let's just.
Well, I mean,
come on.
Yeah, I mean that's not a fair comparison.
Wait a minute! Everybody tells me that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan.
Oh no, my goodness! Just look at what are their records? What are their records in finals? I mean, I know he's going to play he's like 60, so he's going to have
the dumbest argument ever. Anyone, it's the dumbest argument in sports.
But yeah, we can't
It's
just look at what they did in the finals. And I mean, I don't know why you're bringing this to me. I'm not a LeBron person.
I know.
But it's like that his fans are they're very delusional. So
yes, they are. Yes, they
are. Oh my, please. I don't. Who is that?
Breaking news.
Wayne?
TMZ reporting that Marva's been wearing a Duke boot. Wow. TMZ. I know they're credible and everything, but do we have pictures, Wayne?
Yeah, that would never, ever happen. And I know someone's going to come up with some AI and make it happen. But if you ever see that, no, it is AI. That would never, ever, ever.
You don't even have royal blue clothing.
I do have one shirt because my daughter's school, that's their colors. I have that because of my daughter. And I haven't even worn it yet. They gave one to all the parents. I haven't worn one yet, but I will at some point because it's her school. but never Duke. And again, I mean, look out for this possible upset against Siena Saints. Okay.
Look, I mean, I know it would destroy my bracket, but we're always, that's what it's all about. That's what this tournament's all about.
It is. And it would be an incredible upset. And all of the analysts, their heads would explode. Like it would be very sweet for me to see. And not just me. We talked about this. It would be sweet for America. It'd be the win we need. Okay?
Thank you, America.
The win we need.
They would be the darlings of the church, no question. You're right.
They would be. And I'm sure they have a lot of great qualities. And I'm going to find a player on their team to root for. So, oh my gosh.
Well, they won
this.
What do you have now? What do we got now? Next thing you know, Marva will be sporting a Just for Men boozer beard.
Oh my gosh. Is that one of his endorsements? Look, can we not talk about this family? I mean,
you love the boozers. It's on record.
I do not.
Apparently TMZ's got it. You're there.
I do not. And one thing I don't understand, do you know that they visited UNC for some reason? Like they did come. They visited like they were going to go there. Like when they were being recruited.
Well, they were seeing.
I mean, I knew it was never going to happen. I don't know why they did that. It was a waste of time.
Who was going to pay? Well, you'd already paid your money with Caleb Wilson. You didn't have enough money to sign.
But no, they weren't going to go there. I don't care how much money they were offered. I'm sure they wanted to play where their dad played, which I understand. And I respect that. Yeah. I respect that. They wanted to play there. I get it. It was silly for them to even visit. Totally silly.
They had to first make sure Duke was going to commit financially. I think that's what.
No. I don't know why. It was a waste of time all around. It was a waste of time for Carolina to host them. It was a waste of time for them to go there. I don't know. And I don't pay too much attention to the recruiting stuff. I wait once somebody is actually officially there. I don't pay a lot of attention, but I know they did a visit. And it was just like, why? They're not going there.
I meant to ask you, did you see your former quarterback, Marquise Williams, what he said?
I did see what he said. But it's like, I hate when people do these cryptic messages because you don't know what's behind it. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I really didn't even want to talk about Carolina football today, Rick. Thank you for bringing it up.
So what happened is he walked in down there and he said it was the most disgusting. He said he was ashamed of the program and he would never go back. What's going on?
I don't know. I saw the same headline. But he wouldn't go into more detail. That's all I said. So I imagine it's just a mess. I mean, I'm trying to be hopeful that it's going to be better. I am trying to be hopeful, but that's of course not encouraging. Let's just wait and see what happens. I'm hoping it will be better.
TMZ, there it is. Wow.
Whoever did that, I am so mad at you. I hate AI too. I hate AI.
You even got Duke horns. Who knew? Look at that.
I get it. Who goes for a team? Their mascot is the devil. Their mascot is the devil, guys. Is that all you have to hear? Please. So, but yeah.
Wow. Pictorial
football,
proof.
I don't know. There. But there is a bit of football news that you might have missed. NFL news. Unless you guys already talked about this.
What's that?
Sam Howell has been traded to the Cowboys.
He's still in the league.
He is still in the league. And Dak Prescott is looking over his shoulder now. I've already talked to my husband about this. As you know, he is a big Cowboys fan. And, he wasn't listening to me. He didn't want to, he saw the news, but he didn't really want to believe. But I said, we may see a new starter in Dallas. That's breaking news here. I'm sure he's going to be competing. And,
I didn't even know he was still in the league. I got to be honest. I had no idea he was still in the league.
He's bounced around a little bit, but this is what Dallas fans are talking about right now. So
Ryan Price says the Cowboys are still in the league.
I know. But yes, they are still a professional football team.
That's the rumor. They're still there. Yeah.
A turkey is better than a devil. Okay. Somebody's talking about
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to side with that's what you're doing. I mean,
you're siding with Satan, is what you're saying.
There's still time for you to change your bracket.
You're the one wearing the horns. Look, you're the one who decided to do that. I mean, what's going on with that? I don't understand.
Whoever created that, I am very mad at you. Okay,
I'm
Morris.
very mad at you.
Yes.
I'll give you 5 guesses who made that.
Morris.
No.
Morris admitting to it?
No.
Wayne?
No. I mean, Wayne is the one who had the TMZ exclusive info. So
yes. So but again, just think about your choices for people who are still filling out your bracket. I don't know. I guess you can't see what other people have done until the games start. So people, you still have time to change. If you are picking Duke to go all the way, there's still time. You don't have to do that. You can erase that. You can start all over even. Your whole bracket.
They're really, really good, Marva. They're really, really good.
But haven't they been really good in the past? Weren't they really good last year?
It's a little different.
With Cooper Flag, weren't they really good last year?
Well, that was being propped up so much. I know they're always propped up by ESPN. That's true. But that was more of a Cooper Flag became he's good, but now they've got, I don't know. There's something about them this year. It's a little different. They're tough. You know what it is? They're tough. And Duke has never had a tough team. They've always had kind of a finesse. You hated them because they were so soft and they whined about everything. This is a tough.
They still whine, though.
Well, they do.
I mean, they've only lost 2 games all year, but still.
Correct. And you beat them. There's
one of those wins was, Carolina beat them. So
that's right. And then apparently, according to their coach, you were beating up players.
Oh, yeah, punching them in the face left and right. Yes. Okay, so we've got to thank you, Morris. Yes. So, they do. They do still whine, Rodney, and they.
Oh wow! Look, is this true? Look at this. There's another shot of you to do.
I am so mad. Can you guys stop this? Seriously, AI should be banned. This is ridiculous.
Look how happy you are to be down at Cameron. Wow.
The funny thing is, I've never been to Cameron for a game. I have been there for an event before. I've been there for an event, and it's hot, and it's not pleasant.
No, it's they set you up in the top of the crow's nest, and it's nasty. It's gross. It's just a dirty. It's really not a clean place at all.
But again, their mascot is the devil, and we've got to keep that in mind. And again, guys, you don't have to go there. If you remember one thing while you're filling out your bracket, you do not have to go there. Okay.
William asking on the text line, Marva, serious question. Why the Tar Heels? Why did North Carolina pick the Tar Heels? I've looked this up before.
Well, it's a Civil War connection.
Yeah.
For Tar Heels. So as you know, Carolina is the, flagship state university there in North Carolina.
Yes.
And in the Civil War, there was saying about the guys who were fighting for North Carolina that they really stood in there in the fight. Like they had tar on their heels. And that's where the mascot came from.
Yep. Why goat though?
Now the story behind the goat, honestly, I don't know. I think it's a ram, not a goat. It's a ram.
Oh, it's a ram.
It's a ram, and it's a special breed of ram. Your listeners should look this up, or viewers. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to being on the video. That the special breed of ram, that their horns are Carolina blue. It's been adopted as the mascot.
Well, no, they're painted blue.
No, they're not. That's natural. This is a breed. This is a special breed.
Oh, so the horns just come out naturally, Carolina.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You can look that up, guys.
Okay. All right. You mean like the horns you're wearing that are Duke Royal Blue in these pictures? These shots of you actually at Duke game?
And this is shameful, guys. Really. This is so bad because again, would never happen. Never ever happen. But yeah, look that up. It's a special breed. They do have Carolina blue horns.
Wow, who knew? I didn't know that. Didn't realize that. All right, well, get in the league. She'll get in the league. Trust me, everybody. She will. She'll get in there.
I will get in. I will be there. Okay, and unfortunately, I will pick that team to win their first game. But that's it.
I mean, it's at this point, it's kind of overwhelming. The evidence is pretty overwhelming.
Yes, that is right, Morris. Yeah. So I please, guys, you got to stop with this Duke stuff. I'm very serious because, again, they're not going to win it all. And it's still time to change. If you have picked them, if you have believed the hype, if you have watched all the little shows and you're like, Duke, but I was surprised the number of people who were saying that Duke was not going to be there, or they might be there, but they wouldn't win.
Don't watch one of the shows. I will not watch anything ESPN.
I watched a few of them. I watched
no.
not just, I mean, I was watching, of course, you got to watch the CBS show to see when the brackets come out. I mean, I did. You got to watch it.
I did not watch it this year.
Well, you were busy.
I was. I did not watch it.
But I always watch, and my goodness, I can't think of the gentleman's name. There's a man on the panel who actually went to Duke, and of course he was saying he was picking the, VCU was going to beat Carolina and being upset. But I
miss Greg Gumbel.
Yeah.
Like seriously, that was Selection Sunday to me. He was so good.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
And it's like, we were losing a lot of these, our older time broadcasters, and it is a little bit different.
I really miss Greg Gumbel. He was good. Greg Gumbel was really good.
He was. But
now I'm sad. Now
yeah,
I'm just sad.
We shouldn't win on a sad note. So,
but he passed away suddenly too. Like it was.
I don't remember exactly what happened. Was it suddenly, or did he have maybe
he had something he didn't tell people,
and we didn't tell everyone?
I bet you that's what it was.
So, yeah, it's sad, but we have to respect. Some people don't want to be in the spotlight or have people know about what's going on. So,
yeah, cancer.
So
kept it quiet. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, he kind of kept his battle to himself. Still worked while he was battling. Wow, that makes you miss him even more.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the greats, and it is definitely sad, and we all have such memories tied up into this tournament. For those of us who love college basketball.
Oh, I know.
So
this might be the last year of this format too. I think it's going to be.
I hope. They've talked about. Still talking about expansion. I guess I really don't think they need to do that, though.
No, I don't either.
It's perfect the way it is. I mean, I was happy when it was just 64. I don't really get excited about the first four, but I mean, this year we might actually have some interesting games. I think there's some interest this year in the first four more.
Yeah, the
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah,
and so
sure.
So we will see. Oh yeah, Marlin time. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm not going to be able to be there on opening day again.
That's a shame.
Middle of the week stuff, but we will be there. I mean, I'm hoping that my family can go to several games, and yes, I am hearing World Series talk already about Marlins, and you're probably hearing that too.
No, I'm not.
Not yet. Everybody's still talking about basketball or whatever, but yeah, it's coming.
Pretty soon, Marlins fever is going to overtake Miami. So
overtake the country, Miami.
Not just Miami, but the whole country.
You know how they're like Yankees fans all over the country?
You think that's going to happen with the Marlins now?
Yeah. You're going to see Marlins fans just spring up everywhere.
Are they ever going to go back to the original colors? Because those unis were perfect.
I don't know.
The teal was just so nice. The teal and the black. And
that's actually my son's favorite color is teal.
That whole uni was awesome. They won a World Series in those unis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. They're always doing something different. I think they like to mix it up,
Ryan Price says, if the Marlins ever win again, I'll feel great for both of you fans.
Just you don't have to be a hater. Okay, Ryan? You don't. I don't know what your team is. I don't know if we have a bad history. Maybe the Marlins beat your team at some point. You don't have to be this way. Okay? So
that's good. That's good. Well, listen, enjoy the tournament. You will be in the bracket. Everybody calm down.
Please
She'll be in there.
People. I will be there. I will make sure my husband joins as well. We will both be. His name is Derek. Look for him. We will both be there. And and I'm going to try to influence his picks. I'll try, if he better not go with that team. I don't think he will because he dislikes them as much as I do. So I don't think he will, but
Patrick on the text line says Marva's entry will be easy to see. It'll say "Go Dukies."
Okay. I think it's time for me to go now. I gotta. It's 7:12. I gotta start getting my son ready for school.
They kid because they love. You know
I
that.
know. I know.
You know that.
But this is a very serious matter, though. Seriously, guys, you don't have to do it.
It's a very serious matter, everybody.
I don't remember what his name is on there. Honestly, that's bad.
All right. Well, we'll see you in there.
Okay.
And I'll shoot you some text on Thursday afternoon.
Okay. Awesome. I can't wait. This is the greatest time. This is a great sports time. So we're all gonna enjoy it.
We will. Give my best to everybody.
Will do. And hope you guys get warmer.
Yeah. Maybe by the end of the week it starts to get a little warmer. It's gonna be cold today and tomorrow.
Spring is coming, right?
Oh yeah. Yay. That's right. No matter how much of a hard time they're giving you, remember, we're the ones right now in 19 degrees and you're in 69 degrees.
Yeah.
So you win.
I do.
You win. All right. Have a great week.
Okay. You too.
Enjoy the tournament. All right. Take care. Go Heels. All right.
Yes. Go Heels.
There you go. See what I do for you? All right. Be good.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Marva in Miami. We love Marva. Well, you got pictures, Wayne. I mean, I don't know where you found those, but wow. I like the ones with I think my favorite one was the one that said go Carolina. No, beat Carolina. Beat Carolina. You guys are relentless. It's great. That was great. Marva will be in there, though. I'm glad people are asking, putting pressure on it. Go join our Big Dog Sports Talk Tournament Challenge. It's up. It's on the ESPN site. It's the simplest one, and it's kind of friendly. It's one thing they get right on their website is it's user friendly. Just type in Big Dog Sports Talk DWG, easy to find, tournament challenge. And if you send me a request on the text line, which many of you had, I will send you the address to click on it, and you just have to open it in your browser, and boom, you're right there. I have made my picks. I do have Duke winning the national title. I'm not proud of it. I don't see anybody beating them the way the bracket's laid out. It looks like the only tough game they get, for the first tough game they get, is in the Final Four. So there you go. That's all I will reveal from my bracket, except for my Thursday BDST lock. We're at 4 years in a row where I've had a Thursday lock, and they've won every year. The lock, and I know it's a little lame, is St. Mary's beating Georgia. Do we even have to mention that team with the satanic star on their helmet, the team that hasn't been relevant in 30 years, the team that chokes every time the playoffs roll around? Gee, you're talking about an NFL team with a star on its helmet. I can't really think of one. All I know is that team has two people in the Hall of Fame that should not be in the Hall of Fame: Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. How is Jerry Jones in the Hall of Fame? Anyone? All right, hour number 3. You don't want to miss it. Joy Williams, Ellie Taylor, Radford women's basketball. We're hosting the WNIT Friday. First time ever. They're excited. You've already met Joy. Wait till you get Joy and Ellie on here together. You're gonna want to come to the game on Friday. And then Coach McGuire tomorrow. Stacey Compton, I think tomorrow or Thursday, and we're going to have to reschedule Mike Burnham because he's traveling today. So we got a lot going on, but we'll keep you posted. Joining us now on the program, he's always got a lot going on. It's Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner Podcast. What's up? And Brian, here we are on the eve of spring football practice. I know you're excited.
I am so ready for this thing to get back going. Just getting the discussion yesterday was like a nice little tidbit. I was like, all right, here we go. We're back. We're getting into the time of year where football's starting to get exciting again. So I'm loving it here, Rick. It's been a kind of quiet off season, at least from a news perspective. So it's going to be nice getting some more things to talk about here with spring practice getting underway.
Yeah, and this is when you start trying to piece it together. It was interesting. Franklin had his press conference yesterday, and nothing really decisive in terms of the roster. He wants to see some guys who can play, which is kind of what we heard from Todd Grantham, right? You want to see which guys you have brought in that are going to show you early on that they're ready to be contributors, right? And that's what the spring's kind of for, to find out about yourself and not have to worry about any other opponents or anything.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that we're going to see here. You know, when we looking forward at spring practice and what we can expect from the spring game, I don't think we're going to see a ton scheme wise, other than kind of what those, you know, base looks are going to look like, what those kind of bread and butter offensive plays are going to look like. You're not going to really be able to, you know, pull a whole lot from that. But what you can, I think, pull a lot from looking at these practices is kind of where that two deep is shaping up, where the position battles are going to be, you know, come fall camp. And hopefully, you know, we got a list of a handful of people that are going to be out for the spring, you know, where some of those young guys can step up and potentially provide a little bit more depth than maybe we anticipated at those positions.
What are you and the guys most excited about position-wise? Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I the only one that's really kind of excited to see Ethan Grunkmeyer? I get people counter me at work all the time that we may not be the guy. Yes, he is. He's the one they paid. I'm tired of hearing about the Carolina kid. If the Carolina kid could have played, he would have played already. Let's just say it the way this is Grunkmeyer's team, right? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I don't really understand that. When we were talking about like who was our basically the jewel of the transfer portal class, it's like it's Ethan Grunkmeyer. It's not even close, because you need a quarterback
correct
that can lead a team, and he's shown that he can do that. Now I'm sure that, you know, we're going to see some good things from some of these other quarterbacks on the roster at some point in their career, but Ethan's the only one that's done it at a high level against college football playoff level competition and shown that he had the juice to get it done.
He had Indiana on the ropes. He had Indiana on the ropes.
Exactly. And I mean, he's about the only team that did the entire year. So at the end of the day, it's going to be his team. He's the starter. He's going to be the guy that we're going to lean on and look to, you know, for at least the next year or two, to lead this football team. And after that, you know, we'll see. I mean, I think, you know, we needed to build out the quarterback room regardless. You know, you lose a couple, you know, key components at the end of last year. You need to have guys in that room that you can feel like you have, either you can trust in Ethan or that have a really high ceiling, even if you don't know where their floor is with Bryce Baker. So, I mean, I think you really kind of, you know, have a good 1-2 punch there that you can look at.
Looks like a lot of injuries at running back right now, so it's going to limit probably how we won't get a clear view on how that might look once we get down to August. But he did point out that they have a couple guys that might miss the entire spring coming up, Hawkins being one of them. We'll see.
Yeah, he talked about Hawkins being nicked. He's not officially ruled out for the whole spring like Messiah Mickens is, but it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get it together. I don't know exactly what the extent of that injury is.
Yeah.
Sounds like, you know, a couple other guys that are missing spring are dealing with some shoulder things. So those are those type of injuries that can linger. So I'm glad to see, you know, maybe making the decision to shut them down now is good. Get them ready. Like, I'd much rather have them ready to go at the start of fall camp than push it in the spring and end up having to either be back in another surgery situation or having that lingering thing where they're still basically at this same place when we start fall camp, and you know you still at a risk of re-injury again. So
absolutely
take it slow with these guys, especially someone like Logan Howland, that, you know, we're going to need in the fall a whole lot more than we need them in the spring.
Well, the one thing he said I liked is we want to make sure our offensive line starters are here, that we know exactly the 5 we're going to need. And you've been talking about that all along, and that seems to be obviously the first starting point, even more so than quarterback. We have to find the 5 guys, right? And so I think that's going to be very interesting to see which 5 actually show up. And at the end of the spring, it sounds like we're going to have a pretty good idea who those 5 are going to be heading into August.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of where Logan Howland ends up sliding in, which I think most of us assume is going to be left tackle. That I feel like that's the general feeling. I think maybe a couple guys on this roster may have something to say about that, but it's going to be interesting to see what the guard rotation looks like, because that was probably the one area on the offensive line I wouldn't have hated us taking one more player at. Obviously we went out there, we got a really solid backup center from Penn State. Altooner's back. You cleaned up tackle by bringing in Howland, bringing in Justin Terry. You already had Johnny Garrett on the roster, so I'm interested to see with this guard spot. We really didn't do a whole lot there. Are some of these younger guys maybe sliding down, and maybe one or two of them are ready to go out the gate? That's an option. Is there some guys that didn't see a lot of playing time or were injured last year that are going to step up? Obviously we want to see Brody Meadows get healthy so he can contribute on a regular basis. That was an issue last year. Look, 2 years ago you had the same thing with Laith Ganem. So you've had a couple years where key pieces at your guard position have been injured for all of or most of the season.
Right. And I mean this with all the respect intended. When Tech was really good, right, those middle three, that inner third of the offensive line was nasty. Jake Gross, there were guys in there. You just go through the list of guys that played in the NFL. When Tech's had good football teams, we know the tackles are vitally important. It goes without saying. But, man, those three guys, those two guards in that sense, especially those guards that you're talking about, they were nasty. They had a reputation, and they just didn't care what it took. And that's what they need to get back, right? They haven't had that in a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, even look at, during the Fuente years with Wyatt Teller and into the Beamer years, I mean, you had some guys that, didn't have a problem getting in the muck and making things ugly and wearing guys out over the course of a game. I think that's a big thing, is that, when you got guys that are nasty and they keep coming at you every snap and they don't relent, eventually that defense starts to crack a little bit, and that's what you like to see. That's why running backs get loose late in the game, because they've got an offensive line that has absolutely worn down the interior of a defense, and now all of a sudden running backs that were getting 4 to 5 yards a carry are now all of a sudden getting 8 and 10 yards a carry at the end of a game and closing things out. And that's what you want to see from a, what seems to still be a run first offense, in this new James Franklin regime. Just a run first offense that's probably going to be a little bit more vertical when they attack down the field with the football.
Well, they'll ease into it like everybody else over the next week, and then it'll start to get full throttle soon with pads, and that's what's going to separate the men's from the boys. You get the whole uni on, you start going at it as much as you can. That's when you start to see a football team develop. So that's always the best part. So.
Yeah, and we'll be following that. We'll be talking to people. We're gonna have some try to have some couple people on here in the next couple weeks to talk a little bit more about that. And we got David Cunningham's coming up here in a little bit with us. So
good.
We'll be talking to him. So that's gonna be a fun little conversation. And then we're hopefully gonna get a couple more fun guests here in during this next run of spring practice. So we're looking forward to all that. It should be a interesting spring. I know James Franklin wants to get Lane packed for the spring game. I think that's going to be as big of an event as it's been in a while. I think the first spring of Prize regime was pretty exciting. I think it was well attended relative to kind of what we had seen in the Fuente and end of Beamer eras. But Franklin's talking about trying to pack this thing, and I think if we can get, even if we don't pack it, I think if we get 40,000 out there, that sends a pretty good message that fans are engaged and ready to get this thing back on track.
That feels like a good number to me, around 40. Like that'd be realistic. I could see that being realistic. So I got to switch gears real quick. Basketball. Your thoughts? Tech turning down the NIT. Man, I'm telling you, I heard backlash all day yesterday. It won't go away. It has. People are just up in arms about this. And when I heard the news, because we had Mike Young on, I went, yeah, that's basically what he told us. They weren't interested in the NIT, but yet, man, I mean, we found out a scholarship got pulled from a couple wealthy donors. Hey, what's going on, man? What were your thoughts when you heard it?
Man, it's such a weird year for basketball, and this kind of just puts a cap on it. I'm like, thinking about this, the postseason, when it doesn't matter, those are games for the fans. So, in a lot of ways, you're telling us that, you know what, we're done doing this. We don't want to give you any more product for this year. So that stings a little bit. From a just team standpoint, I get it to a point. I don't think that probably half of this roster is going to be back next year.
No,
so
chance.
you're not going out there and you're not playing to, improve your chemistry and continuity and install a couple new things that you may not have a chance to do in a regular season situation. You're not getting any of the benefits of playing extra games that you would typically get if you had 75-80% of your roster coming back next year. So I get it from that standpoint, but again, these type of games, the NIT, that's a very, I think, for the fan type tournament. It's like we get some additional talking points, some additional things to watch, some additional chance to see your team go out there and play against other live competition. So you're not getting that. It just kind of sucks, but it does put a, I think, expected cap on a weird year for Mike Young and men's basketball.
Well, and to be fair, because I hadn't thought about it this way, a couple of people at work at Radford work, a lot of people who are tech, boosters and season ticket holders. They said, look, the NIT's been part of our history, and they're right. They won the NIT. They've had some of their best teams that were good in the NIT. And I think a lot of the old heads kind of have that mindset still with it too. Tech and the NIT is kind of a fit if they're not good enough to make the tournament. So that's why I think some of the folks are upset. Not all, but some. And I think a lot of it's what you said too. Hey, you might want us to play. We're not going to. Sorry. We don't want to anymore. We're done.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they don't see any benefit in it. Even running the table in it, like I just don't think they see benefits for them from a long-term perspective. And some of this has to do with basketball in particular, even more than football, does feel like a mercenary type situation.
It is. It is.
Where it's like, okay, well now our goals are no longer on the table, so we're fine walking away.
Correct.
Just like if in a mercenary they see that victory is no longer an option. See you later. Right?
We're done.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same situation. So
no, I'm with you. That makes sense. Well, we shall see. The women have Oregon coming up. We'll see how they can do in the tournament. That's an interesting game for them. But yeah,
interesting
man.
Bracket with Kentucky over there.
Yeah, I mean that's what everybody's wanting, right? We'll see if that's the way it works out. They have a sense of humor, don't they, with the committee? They certainly do.
You know what? They definitely set it up to make things interesting. Should Virginia Tech make a somewhat deep run here?
Yeah. We'll see. All right. So when are you guys going to be on to talk about this, so people know where to find you?
Yeah, we're talking later this week. We got David Cunningham coming on. It's going to be exciting. So go check us out on YouTube. Streaming to, I don't know if you've had this problem, but streaming to Twitter has been a little bit of a up and down road here lately. So go check us out on YouTube at Boundary Corner VT. Follow us there, subscribe there. You'll be able to check out all of our live episodes when we go live. Get notified if you click that bell icon. And check out all the episodes that we got at boundarycornervt.com.
All right, man. Well, people will be watching. I know they will. And thanks for everything you do, brother. We appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of the week and have
Awesome,
fun with
Rick.
the guys.
Always fun jumping on with you. You have a good one now.
All right, man. Keep it going. There you go. That's Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner podcast. Check them out. They are great, and they have a great time, and it's very informative in a fun way. So it's awesome. It's awesome. T-Bill, I could not agree 100 more. I agree 100%. There's no chance half the roster returns. And not convinced even Young returns. It's interesting how the whole extension kind of got put on back burner. Maybe he is more coming to grips with how things are. We had Chris on yesterday, and we spoke directly to that they delayed the announcement on purpose. You can agree to an extension, but you can back out of it. You can say, hey, we signed an extension, but I think I'm just going to retire. And then that extension no longer exists. But we shall see. Reggie says, bet Franklin not happy. Practice facility's cold this morning. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know. I mean, Chris said they were told right yesterday. Said they were told. I think they're the only ones that have alluded to that. I have not heard anybody else say it. So he said the 15th was the target date. Then all this happened, and now silence. Probably would not be a good look to announce an extension with so many fans that are disappointed. And when you had, what we found out from Chris yesterday too, that we had an endowment, a scholarship for the program got pulled. But, man, that's all I heard yesterday. People just fired up about the NIT. Who knew the NIT was so important? It is for us at Radford with the women's NIT. We're hosting. And, hello. Are we still here? We just had a power blip. That was interesting. Test, test, test. Can everyone see me, or do I have to reboot? We just had about a 3-second power outage, and everything came back on. Test 1, 2, 3. It says the clock's still ticking. Okay. That was bizarre. Did y'all see that? The lights went dark. The computer went dark. But we're back. Okay. Maybe it wasn't off long enough. Well, that's the one thing that hasn't happened yet. It's a power blip. So we just experienced it together. But I know one thing. It was loud in the headset, too. Okay. We're good. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. What the hell were we talking about? Marva called AEP. Revenge. Tebow says, just seems like Young is checked out. I don't see it. I don't think they'll wait a couple months. If they're going to have an announcement, it'll probably come within a week or two, would be my guess. They're not going to wait until May, because he does have to go out and try to find more players to purchase. And that's just what it is. Let's stop. The two terms that are no longer relevant in collegiate sports is recruiting and NIL. It's not recruiting, it's shopping. It's shopping and pay for play. Because that's what coaches are looking at it as. You're not recruiting anymore. Yeah, and I'm not saying Chris doesn't have accurate information. I'm just saying they've obviously delayed the announcement because Chris said it was the 15th originally. Well, hell, he was on the show yesterday. He talked about all that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. We'll see. Yeah, what was the number? What was the numbers yesterday? They revealed what they estimated to spend. I don't know why these numbers. I saw all these mass numbers being produced yesterday about who spent what. Indiana spent 30 million. Tech apparently spent 11 million. 11.5 million on its roster. You know, Indiana spent 30 million. I mean, 11 million is a pretty good roster. So, you know, where that sits in the ACC, I don't know. I don't know how accurate those numbers are. I don't know how they could be. But those were posted. Somebody was posting all those numbers for all these clubs. And I'm like, how did they get that? Like NC State apparently was just under 13 million. Clemson was under 13 million. And if Tech is just under 12 million, then it's not about necessarily money if that's accurate, but I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know. Look, it was a team that underachieved in great reason because of the injuries. They never were healthy. They never got to live up to full potential, in my opinion, because of the injury. And I know people want to dismiss that and they want to call me an apologist. I've been called that a lot. And I'm not being that way at all. I'm just looking at it from an honest point of view. This team wasn't healthy all year. Abdallas was a bust. Neo was not what he was purchased to be. You have to look elsewhere. Let him go. Let it go. And bring in different guys for whatever your budget's going to be next year. But I don't know how much higher they're going to go. Everything's dedicated to football. I don't know the answers. So we'll see what's going to happen. We will see. But who knows what Mike Young is thinking. Look, he's never, ever going to need money ever again. I mean, he's very, very wealthy. His wife does very well. So it's not about a money thing. It's just his own decision on whether he wants to be part of this going forward or not. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but the season just ended too, Prometheus. I mean, he may not know yet. He may have asked for a little bit of latitude. Look, all this stuff about late recruitment and all that, none of it matters. All it matters is what kind of money you're going out there with. People need to segue out of the old way of recruiting, just like you have to segue out of NIL to pay for play. These kids don't give a damn how late you get on them. Unless if you call them and tell their handler, I'm going to offer you more than the schools, they're going to, okay, come on by. Where are you from again? That's the reality. That is the reality. I gave you the story about Mike Morrell, UNC Asheville. That summed it all up for me forever. Knew the kid since he was in fifth grade. Family, Christmas cards. They went on vacations together. Hey, coach, I'm going to another school because they're offering me more money. Thanks. Oh, okay. I don't know. And I don't know what the definition of leaving like this is. I mean, he could look around and go, do I want to try this again? And I wouldn't look at it as him quitting. I think he would just come to the understanding that this is not going to be for me as an old school type of coach, like many other coaches have already done. He went out there, they tried it. He's already reneged. There goes the power again. Can you hear me now? No, now the power's out for good. I don't know what happened there. All right. Don't know what's going on. Power went out again, but we're back now. We're back now. That's strange. You have to look into that here as we get going. So he might just walk away saying, all right, I gave it a shot. I'm done. Now, this is his dream job. We'll keep that in mind. This is his dream job. So, I don't think he'll go coach anywhere else. I think it's either tech or retirement. I think that is pretty solid. But I go back to the comments that he made now. They don't seem so flippant, do they? The whole thinking about vacation. Right now, I'm thinking about my wife and I going to whatever island he was talking about. And then he covers his face. I don't know what the F I'm doing or what the F am I doing. I think those were real emotions. I don't think that was putting on or trying to put on airs or any of that stuff. I think that was really him expressing how he was feeling at the time. So we'll see. We'll see. We will find out. So I don't know. But I got to be honest. If he decides that he doesn't want any part of this, okay, good for him, man. Good for him. But this whole thing about getting a late start on recruitment, if you show up with the money, maybe that's what they're trying to figure out now. Maybe they're trying to say, okay, this is what we spent. How much more can we go up to before we go out and try to find this roster? Plus, they're waiting to hear back from players. There's a lot of internal conversations that go on. So they need to know, they need to figure out how many players they have to purchase for next year. And maybe those decisions aren't final either because the season just ended. So we shall see. We shall see. I have not. Thanks, Eric. Eric asked me, have you reached out to Coach Byers? I know you and he are close. I am close with JD Byers, but I'm not that guy. I know what this process looks like. I know what they're going through. I'm not going to reach out and bug him. I have too much value on our friendship than I do to find how to get inside information, you know. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to bother him. If something happens, I'm sure he'll reach out. But that it tells me that they're still figuring out how it's going to look going forward. Hammond and Hansberry are gone. They're gone. All those guys are gone because they're going to get bigger paydays somewhere else. And I just don't know how much money that they have. So, well, they've got supposedly all this money, right? $207 million. So, although I've heard most of that has been gone through. If they're committed, you're going to find a way to commit. They keep saying they're committed. Then if that's the case, then you commit. If they're not committed, then that's going to show as well. But I think there's a whole lot that's been given to that as opposed to all the things that went on with the team. Like, it's an easy scapegoat to say they don't have enough money. They went out and spent money this year. And we saw the kind of team that they had. They have good players. They were beat all to hell, though. Now, to Tebow's point, even still, they did not handle in-game situations well at all. They did not. Yeah, no castle renovations. That's been promised for years, right? Let me go get Creed. That's a great point, Wayne. That's a great point. Hang on. Okay. He is frozen. He is frozen. All right, so in a second we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get into a couple of student athletes at Radford. One you've already met. As Joy Williams is going to join us. I got to make sure I get the invite correct here. We're going to have a couple of Radford women's basketball players on to talk about the WNIT. This is a big deal. We're hosting coming up on Friday against Morehead State. And we're going to have Ellie Taylor and Joy, who you've already met, join us here when they get the invite. So I hope I've got those both correct. All right. So Joy, who's all-conference performer, had 30, 32 in the championship game. Just wow. Will join us, and Ellie is going to join us as well. We're going to talk about the season and what Friday means, and they're going to want everybody to come out. So as much as we talk about all this crap going on in college athletics, I want you to meet these two young women, and you're going to go, you know what? There's still hope. There's still hope. Yeah, he also said he regretted it immediately. He said he gave money to basketball for the first time, and now he regrets it. You know, and then he told the story about the scholarship being pulled. And I told the tech people that at Radford, I said, well, I got to be honest. I was the least surprised person, I guess, on the planet, because he basically told us that in the interview back in November. Y'all remember? No, very. We want to make sure at the end we're going to be in that field. We're not worried about anything else. So there you go. All right, so we're going to be joined by Joy and Ellie coming up, and we're going to meet. We're going to see Joy again. We're going to meet Ellie for the first time here on the program. I see you in the green room, Joy. They're all excited. They can't wait. They can't wait. You want to come on now? You want to wait for Ellie? You want to come on now? Okay, let's go on now. You ready? All right, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is.
Good morning.
Good morning. The All Big South Conference point guard, all tournament team, Joy Williams, joining us from Radford. How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing good. Nice and early. We don't have class today, even though I stayed up late studying for my exam. But
yeah, how about that? We just got that late announcement, didn't we? Everything is the whole thing shut down? Is it shut down just to a certain time?
Shut down till noon, but my second class starts at 11. So.
Oh, you're good. Look at you. Yeah. Free day. Yeah. Just basketball practice.
Yeah, I might go back to sleep a little bit.
Well, thanks for staying up for us. Well, let's talk about your season. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys had a great run of the tournament, and what a final you had. I've seen you in the zone a lot when you're feeling it, but boy, you were feeling it on Championship Sunday, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good feeling. I'm I'm glad some shots went in. Once I saw a couple go in, it was just like, oh my gosh. Like I was just going to do anything that I could to score because, like, I mean, he said straight line drives, and I got some drives, and that's not usually my game. But, yeah, no, it was crazy. I was definitely, like, super locked in on it. I don't think I've had that fire for scoring in games, even though I've had, like, more points before. So.
Now, you had your first step. You're right. It didn't matter who they were switching off on. You were able to get inside, and you made some incredible adjustments once you got inside. Did you think the deciding part of that game was they are big? I mean, they're pretty big down low. Was that kind of the thing you think separated it at the end?
I'm confused by the question.
Like their size, like high point size and so forth. Was that like a huge factor in the end? Because what was it, only a 4-point game? Was that right? At the end?
Yeah.
Of the game?
I don't really think that their size was necessarily a factor. I think it was just a couple possessions that maybe we could have done something different. I don't necessarily because we're pretty big too. I think across the board, our starting lineup, we're taller in every single position. Maybe not the center spot, or the 4 spot, but like guard play, we were all bigger, so I knew like it wasn't really going to be a problem. I think we match up pretty well with them. So, like there was no size advantage. Maybe a little discipline here and there.
Yeah, you had great looks at the end, though. I thought both shots were really good looks. So the offense produced what you wanted, right? I know which one you're thinking about. I can tell by the grin, but that's okay. That's okay.
It is okay.
Well, what's coming up Friday is really cool because your team is the first time that Radford basketball, men or women, have ever hosted. Now, we've hosted the Big South tournament games, but first time we've ever hosted a national tournament. So Friday night, how excited is the program to be hosting a women's NIT game on Friday?
I'm so excited. When I found out, I just started like screaming, calling my family. Like being able to play in front of our fans is just the best. I hope they all can come out. I remember I like got a little emotional the last time we were in Dedmon, and it was just like, oh, this is my last time we get to play with the seniors. So I'm super glad to be able to play with Ellie. Hopefully she's here soon. Ellie again and Katie, and just play in front of our fans. There's not really a feeling like it, and especially with postseason, I just know everything's going to be even more intense, and it's just going to be amazing. So I'm super excited and grateful that we're able to host.
Talk about that. Yeah, the emotion. You went through senior day. You went through all that, right? Is this my last game? And then now you get a reprieve, right? You get to look around and see it one more time. I'm going to send her the invite again just to make sure I got it right. But go ahead. What do you think? How did that make you feel, like you said, that knowing you get another shot?
Oh, like I said, I started screaming. I was like, this is amazing. And just like not knowing where we were going to travel, like it's all up in the air. And then finding out that we were at home, it was just like, wow. Because we knew that there could be a possibility. It's like was very unlikely. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then, I mean, it just makes me excited. And I think that it definitely does give us a little bit of a competitive edge. Like we play better at home in front of our fans. Like the more people that show up, the more people that are there, like the environment, our fans, they cheer, it's loud. We have our little game day gimmicks. It's just, it's a different type of energy.
Now, how will that go with Coach McGuire? He's going to be on tomorrow, but obviously you're practicing, you're trying to stay sharp, but now you've got an opponent that you know is coming in. When do you guys start working on specifically Morehead State?
I think that definitely it's postseason, so every team's going to be good. And as much as we do want to focus on the other teams, it's going to come down to us and our discipline level. So just tweaking a couple of things, making sure that we're staying disciplined and locked in and etc.
There she is. What's up, Ellie?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
No problem at all.
All right. We got a couple teammates on here ready to go for Friday. Hey, how excited are you to have a WNIT game in the Dedmon Center?
I'm really excited. I think just having another home game in general is going to be a lot of fun. And then, obviously the home crowd helps always.
And the bracket looks pretty good. Both of y'all can, you look at the way the bracket's set up. Joy first. I mean, I know you have to look ahead because it's just natural, right? But you talk about the bracket. I think the way that they do the women's NIT makes a lot more sense than what the men's NIT has become.
No, I think it's set up pretty nicely. A lot of both of the teams that we play are teams based on like the systems that they run. So having the Moorhead game at home first, like Ellie said, like the home crowd, that's definitely an advantage. And then going to play an Arkansas State team that's a little bit like Longwood, they press the whole time. And so it's set up for us to definitely make a run. So this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I think like having some teams that we've already played in non-conference as well, and just being familiar with them kind of already off the bat. So being able to keep up with that, and then honestly just seeing how it unfolds.
Well, Ellie, talk about your career. I know Coach McGuire talked about it in the post-game press conference, right? No mistake, Radford's successful when you're healthy and ready to go. Talk about your journey now and how much fun this season has been for you to be able to play and to see this team blossom the way it has here at the end of the year.
I think it's been a lot of fun, but I think, one thing that helped me a lot was my first year. I was really pushed to be that leader, even though I was new. And I think that really helped me grow my first year and last year, even though I didn't play, just learning to be a leader, even though I'm not on the court during game day. And then this year, just picking up where we left off from my first year and then adding that growth of leadership to it as well.
Yeah, talk about that, Joy, because you're also a natural leader, and you've watched Ellie, right, being injured but still continuing that role. How inspirational is that to see somebody who knows that they're physically at that time unable to play, yet that doesn't hamper what they're trying to do to encourage the team?
I think it's good. I think one thing that you can never do is question Ellie's passion or her will to win, and that shows through her leadership. And it's really encouraging, and I could see her grow from not only like leading by example and doing the right things, always working hard, but to always being a vocal leader and encouraging us, getting us fired up. I think that's definitely a big thing that Ellie does and helps us, is which set the tone with energy, and not letting us take an off day or come in with like not the right mindset or not the right energy. So that's big, and that's in practice. That's at the beginning of games, and like there's not going to be an off day with definitely the leadership that we have.
Ellie, what did you use internally to stay motivated to make sure you rehab to get ready for what has become a terrific season like this?
To be honest, I would say having the support of, the women's team in general, and then support staff as well. Just having that support of knowing that I'm going to get through it. And then I would say, my rehab facility that I go to was just awesome. From, PTs to just seeing the people in there. I mean, you see all different types of people, from, people that can't walk to people that can't talk, like just being inspired by that. And then honestly, having the strength of God every day. Like, he really stepped up and stepped into my life and showed me that I can do it and I can overcome it. I mean, from day one for me, I think as soon as I tore it, I knew it was something bigger. I didn't want to believe it at the time, but I knew I was going to get through it. Like, it wasn't a question in my head that I wasn't going to come back stronger than I was, regardless of what it was going to be. So I think just, having him definitely to lean on, and then having such great, physical therapists helped me a lot.
Well, there's no question about it. And what this is going to mean for both of you, your experiences at Radford. Joy, first of all, talk about, and as you move forward now, what are you going to take from all this? You probably hadn't had time to think about it yet because the season's still going, but what are you going to take from all this experience of being at Radford?
I have another year.
Yeah, it's true. You do have another year, but we're hoping.
I think my experience at Radford, I think the thing that I would just mainly take away from it is, how important people are.
Yeah.
I definitely learned the value of people, having good people in my life. You can never take that for granted. You can never swap that out for something different. Even if something different could bring different benefits, or change is always good, but definitely the value of good people and a good environment, people who believe in you and trust in you. So yeah, that's what I would take from this experience. And when I go into the workforce, I definitely want to be in an environment that feels the same way. And
Yeah,
now I know what
absolutely.
it feels like.
How about you, Ellie? You just talked about it. I mean, my goodness gracious, everything else is going to be kind of gravy for you. You've already been through the tough stuff.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I mean, having good people for sure, but I think one thing for me, going throughout school and just having to do different papers and stuff, I feel like I've learned that like being able to be in whatever environment and still being able to thrive, whether, you have good people or bad people, like still finding that way to continue to thrive and do what you need to do to succeed. And I mean, it can be hard for sure. There are times when you have a teammate that doesn't want to do what you want to do or doesn't have the same mindset as you every day, but still being able to come through and pick them up or to try to help them the best way you can is very important.
Oh, we got peeps asking you questions now on the text line. You ready? All right.
Okay.
Joy, after you're done with basketball, what kind of work specifically are you looking to get into? This is Dave who's watching. Hey, Dave, good morning.
Anything business related. So I'm either going to get into sales or management, something of the sort. I might play overseas for a couple years and then definitely dive into the business. I want to take a GA year, potentially get my master's, and then lead into whatever feels right after that.
There you go. You got a nice plan. How about you, Ellie? Have you thought of that far ahead yet?
I want to coach. So whatever that entails. I mean, I prefer not to go the school route just because I've been in school for so long. But right. If I have to, I will. So just coach whatever level, D1, D2, but I want it to be college.
Oh, that'll be great. And I'm sure Coach McGuire is a pretty good resource for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think, Joy? Ellie going to be a good coach?
Yeah.
All right. So again, this is Friday night, 7:00. Morehead State. Any message you want to get across to the fans? Make sure we pack that joint on Friday night.
Go ahead, Joy.
Yeah, come out. We need you guys. You guys have been there for us all season, and we definitely had a good year because of it. It's not just us that they're out on the court. It's definitely you guys showing up to the games, and it matters. And we definitely need you guys to come out on Friday, 7 p.m., and I really hope that you're there.
There you go. That's good. Ellie, how about you?
Yeah, just come out, have a good time. 7:00, I feel like that's a pretty reasonable time for everybody. Wouldn't come in between anything, but tickets are on sale now. I know some people have already reached out to me saying they bought tickets and they're going to be there. So come out and support. We appreciate it all, and we'll definitely be there to talk after the game too. So
yeah, that's something else, by the way. Yeah, you always take the time to meet the crowd, sign autographs, whatever it might be. And that's great because not every program does that. So I think that's right. And it's sincere, too. You're not just doing it to go through the motions. So I like that. I like that a lot. So.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, listen, congratulations to you both. And I know you both get to go back to bed for a while if you choose, right? You're at school this morning. That's the best news of the day.
Yeah.
And we'll be pulling like heck for you on Friday. Congratulations on the great season and hosting the WNIT. And let's see how far we can go, how long we can take.
Thank you so much.
So,
thank
you guys. Thanks for getting up with us. All right, take care. Be good. Good to see you again. All right, there you go. Ellie and Joy joining us from Radford Women's Basketball Friday night at 7. Good stuff all the way around. I want to thank all of our sponsors. I want to thank the NRV Super Bowl. They've been around for 25 years. 540-382-5525. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. FamilyFencingNRV.com. McClellan Chiropractic, sponsor of our chat room, which is always popping. Thanks to Mark Hunley, 155 Walters Drive. Sundown Electric, our newest sponsor, one of the best reputations of any regional local business, however you want to look at it. They're down in Elliston, but they serve a lot more of a wider range. Nothing but 100% fan reaction. Then they tell you very honestly about the job, the cost, you name it. They talk about it. ReadySetFund.com. Ready Set Fund with Bob Christ, BOBCRST 11. How can your organization earn some money? Well, reach out to Bob and the Ready Set Fund. Professional Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors, family owned and operated, 38 years in business, sponsor of our text line, which has just been going crazy today. Thank you, Travis. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this show. And of course, yours truly. I'm going through some, refinancing, one final refinancing, and for the home and some other things. And, that can become very stressful, but been talking to Jamie down at the bank, and they just ease your mind. It's great. It's great. The attorney, Ryan Pry. We're getting quite a few responses now for our BDST fan question of the week. We're going to reveal it on Thursday before the first games are played, but it's going to be the upset. Is there one upset you're looking at here on these first couple days? Trust and estate planning expert, by the way. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. I can't say enough about Charles Lee, having gone through it myself with him. Just unbelievable. I was very, very stressed when I got home last year and found out that lightning had destroyed both my heating and air units. I came in, my son was like, "This house is cold, Dad." And my neighbor goes, "Yeah, I think somebody got struck by lightning." "What?" "Oh, yeah, it was my units." Great. We diagnosed and got it done quickly. Just took a few days. Unbelievable. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Speaking of unbelievable, they are the presenting sponsor of this program. And what Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller are doing is unprecedented in this area. Stacey Compton's going to join us this week. We're going to talk all things IHRA as we go forward. So we got a lot going on there. And I think that takes care of everyone. Yeah, credit them for getting up when they could have slept in. That's right. Of course, they probably got the notice, so they had to get up anyway to get the notice, which I just got about school today. Yeah. Prometheus, look at that. I have St. John's in the finals. Rick Pitino is the best coach in college basketball. So I'm not going to say that's impossible. Now, he's got to get by the aforementioned Duke Blue Devils, which could be a great game. But he is a terrific. I mean, I know, look, we're not talking about the stuff that went on. I know he has his demons in his closet too, like everybody else. And if they weren't in Duke's region, I'd probably have them going a lot further. But they are really, really well coached. Duke's got UConn. I still think the West region is pretty solid. I think the point that Donnie Lynn made yesterday about the South region, that's where your mid-major cluster kind of is. So McNeese, Troy, VCU, where you could have some updates. Or upsets, I'm sorry. Midwest looks pretty tame to me. Santa Clara beating Kentucky is not a major upset to me. Akron, Texas Tech. There's the 12-5. People are asking, that's the 12-5 I like the most. Akron and Texas Tech. St. John's, I don't think will lose to Northern Iowa. I would love to see High Point, but they won't. They won't beat Wisconsin, I don't think. And McNeese Vandy was one I looked at. Good memory, Brian, on the text line. What was your final decision about Troy and Nebraska? I'm going to go, I think, Nebraska in that one. I think that's what I picked. Funniest quote of the day, Marva's saying, "You people need to stop. This is serious." Yeah, Marva's great. Marva, I know when back in 2020 when they approached me about doing the show, first three calls I made, Burnett, Jen, and Marva. And Marva and I had worked together for years, so yeah. It's great. Great. And she takes it all good-naturedly. She's awesome. She's awesome. Yeah, Vanderbilt, They've got McNeese in the South. You know, that it does seem like the South is kind of wide open, doesn't it? So I could see that too. I mean, Florida, Houston, Illinois, Nebraska is your top 4, and then Vandy. You could see them come out of the South, or at least going to the final. That one seems to be the less intimidating from a power school standpoint, the South. Get in, by the way, the Big Dog Sports Talk bracket. I know many people are waiting to create your entry, but you can go ahead and create it, then you can just pick it. A lot of people I know might be waiting until after the first 4 game on Wednesday. But yeah, jump in. Big Dog Sports Talk, BIGDAWG Sports Talk. It's free, it's fun, and we'll have some prizes at the end for the winner. Just one winner, by the way. Because we don't give participation trophies on BDST. One winner. Vandy and Houston? Sure. I really don't want all 4 number 1 seeds to go back to the Final Four. That was a yawner last year. Unfortunately, you could see that happening again this year. The South is probably the one. Michigan solid, Arizona, Duke. Maybe Florida, like you're saying, Prometheus might be the most vulnerable. But then the other side of it is it's not a very daunting top seed heavy. Houston, Illinois, and Nebraska, not really that intimidating. To me, anyway. You got Zona? Well, I mean, that'd be a number 1 seed winning it. So that could happen. That could happen. I just hope that we have great games. I hope we do have some underdog stories that we can get behind and we can get that old vibe back. It was missing last year. And I think if it happens again this year, then it becomes a trend with the new way money and things like that are affecting college basketball. It's a little different than college football. Because I thought you throw, and I've said this many times, you throw all the things aside, college football product was really good on the field. It was really good on the field. Really good. What's up, TP? You better be in the bracket, TP. He's got Miami, Ohio all the way. Few teams are going to have more of a chip on their shoulder than Miami, Ohio. They got stuck in the first 4. People have been talking against them all year. They lose a game in their conference tournament to Akron. Akron wins the whole thing. Oh, you're already in? Cool. High Point over Wisconsin. That's where my heart will be. We can put away our conference rival persona. I thought last year's High Point team was more structured to pull an upset, which they didn't do. I think this team's lack of size. Now, Terry Anderson's a terrific wing player. Wisconsin's very, very big. Very big. But they could. I mean, anybody can catch fire, hit some shots early, and there we go. Look, regardless of who it is, I'm always going to pull for the Big South rep in the tournament. Morris has Duke, Florida, the Zags, and Michigan in the Final Four. That's very plausible. Very plausible. Look, I've only won one bracket my entire life, so, I'm not ever going to diss anybody else's picks. There have been some years I've been caught trying to pick upsets, and that's where you get into trouble. Somebody asked me, my advice is trust your eyes, teams that you've seen. Do it that way. Don't just look and see what – I'm not watching anything that anybody's saying about the brackets. I don't need to hear what they have to say. But just trust your eyes. If you've seen teams, if you see matchups, you can click on – they've got a great synopsis in their capsule, their team capsule. And you can see the trends and how they've done and all these things. But I've been caught trying to pick upsets instead of knowing what feels like a good matchup. And that's what I'm looking at with High Point this year. I want to pick it, but I probably will not. Actually, I know I didn't so far in my pick. And I did not pick Hofstra. I did pick VCU. I did pick St. Mary's. I'm trying to think of lower seeds I picked. I picked UCF to beat UCLA. I picked I don't remember off the top of my head. What else did I pick? Let's see here. I picked UCF. And now, yeah, somebody brought up the South Florida and the Louisville game. We have to go back and look at that again. I have TCU being Ohio State. Let's see here. I have Texas NC State winner beating BYU. I have Utah State beating Villanova. These are 8-9 games. Those aren't really upsets. I have Santa Clara beating Kentucky. That's the other 10-7 game I have. I do have Tennessee beating SMU or Miami, Ohio. And I have St. Louis winning. And I am going to, stick with Akron to beat Texas Tech. There's always a 12-5 that wins. I don't think it'll be McNeese, and I don't quite think High Point has enough. But the thing about you have to look at, too, a team like High Point, I mean, a lot of those guys were P4 players. So they're different, which really kind of surprises me a little bit because a lot of these mid-majors that make the tournament, that advance, are getting former P4 players. That's why last year really kind of surprised me that we had so much chalk through the brackets. And I don't really have a theory about that yet. But there was a lot of chalk. And that's boring. Nobody wants that. But to have all 4 number ones make it to the finals, they were the best teams. They got there. They earned it. But I'd have to sit and think about that a little while. Why did it come out that way? If it happens again this year, then all of a sudden it's a trend if it happens twice. But High Point has a lot of guys that played at a higher level. A lot of these teams do. Why are they not doing better in the tournament? Maybe that changes this year. I think you have less intimidation. A lot of times the smaller schools might feel like they're overwhelmed. But maybe that was part of the whole thing. You had true guys that, like for Radford, when we won it, beat LIU Brooklyn, knew we were going to play Villanova. They were the number 1 team in the country. But, we didn't have any guys on our team. Now, it turned out Carleek Jones definitely would have been. But we didn't have any guys that could have cracked Villanova's starting 5 or their first 7 or 8 in rotation. And maybe the David versus Goliath aspect, where you have true mid-major players going against power players, and that desire to prove yourself, that desire to say, look, we belong. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe that was missing last year because you had so many power players. And I don't know. I'm just coming up with a theory as we go here. I could be completely off my rocker, and likely am. But if you have guys who have been at that level, maybe their motivation's not the same. But then again, you would think it would be, because if they were at a P level, came down because they couldn't start or play somewhere else, you would think they'd want to go there and show, hey, where's my next payday? So it goes both ways. So I don't know. If we're able to get David Teal on tomorrow, I'll ask him that question. No deep upsets. I don't see like Idaho number 15 beating Houston. I don't see Tennessee State beating Iowa State. Queens, which is a great story, beating Purdue. Purdue has been a victim of some big upsets over the last decade. Furman, who I really like a lot, but beating UConn, I don't think that's the matchup they needed. I've not seen North Dakota State enough. I have seen Kennesaw State. They're good, but they got Gonzaga. I'm talking about 14s versus 3s. Wright State has been a great story this year. I don't see them beating Virginia. We saw Wright State early up in the Greenbrier in West Virginia, and they put a hurting on the Highlanders. And Penn against Illinois, Ivy League team. If there is a 13 that I think will win, off the top of my head, it will be Hofstra. Yes, I'm going to stand by it. If there is a 13-4 upset, I think it'll be Hofstra beating Alabama. I'm not picking it, but if it happens, okay, you could see that being the case. But yeah, not really. 7-10s aren't really upsets. 6-11s are becoming less upset. I mean, you look at the 6-11. Is anybody going to be surprised if VCU beats Carolina, or if SMU Miami winner beats Tennessee, or if Texas NC State winner beats BYU, or if South Florida beats Louisville? Nobody's going to go, wow, never saw that coming. I mean, that's not as big of an upset as it used to be. So we'll see how it all unfolds, and get out there and fill out your bracket and join our group. You have until Thursday at 11. 11 is the cutoff, apparently. And you can wait until Thursday morning. It'll have everything filled in for you, who wins in the first 4. So, yeah, I do too. I think UVA could go a long way. I do too. But Duke and UVA really are the only two out of that league. Somebody like NC State, which is really talented, and Donnie, Coach Lynn brought it up yesterday. They're just now starting to find it a little bit. Maybe that talent catches up, because you can change your picks up till the tournament when it starts. Yes, you cannot change it after that. But yeah, you can change your picks, I think, until I think they lock them in at 11. But no, you cannot change them as you go along. And we only do one bracket. I'm not letting Marva put in 2 brackets. Be confident in your knowledge. Pick one, roll with it, baby. Roll with it. Wayne says, we will see if anyone can guess my team name. Oh, good. G, it's going to have something to do with poison. It's either going to have something to do with poison, Farrah Fawcett, Olivia Newton-John, or Bigfoot. Yes, you can change them all the way up till they lock it in, which is, I think, 11 o'clock Eastern. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what it said. Or they may have it until noon. Since the first game starts at like 12:15, they may move it. Is the name of yours, yeah, is it going to be nothing but a good time? Or every pick has its thorn? So, yeah, you can go through and change, and then it gets locked in after the tournament actually tipped off. But I think it might be noon, but they will lock it so you can't change it too. Yeah, you'll have plenty of time for that, Prometheus. Yep. Because you don't pick the first 4 games. So, but you can, like I think NC State or Texas can beat BYU. So I think I'm going to go with the winner of that one regardless. So look at that. Every pick has its thorn. See what I do for you, Wayne? Just make sure you don't rhyme anything. Okay? Be just like the band. Don't make sure nothing rhymes in your team name. That's good. Everybody jump in and we'll have fun. We'll have a lot of fun. Keon will be in there. Marva, Jen, Mike Ashley's supposed to be in there. Slacker. I'll remind him today. Denny Van Pelt's in there. I saw Denny's in there. Good stuff today. A lot could happen tomorrow. We'll let you know as we go along. Thanks to Joy and Ellie, Radford Women's Hoops, Thorn, and Dawn. Yes. Did anybody, like, when they were producing the album, go, Brett, you realize that doesn't match? Yeah, it does. Oh, okay, Brett. Let's just go with it. Bring on the Panera Bread bricks. Oh, that's pretty good too. Absolutely, it will. Prometheus. She will casually throw that in there. Yes. But go join, subscribe, like, and share the channel. Help out with that. Let people know how much fun we have and how easy it is and how interactive we are. Thanks to Marva. Thanks to Brian Seigla. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll try to reschedule Burn Up this week. He's traveling today. We'll let you know about all those things. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Be safe. Watch the slick spots, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Wednesday edition as we slide over the hump. First 4 games tonight. Have fun with them.